Ladies and gentlemen, I am the War Boss Squee. We are once again playing Pillars of Eternity. We have finally put an end to this zombie plague. This guy was the worst messenger ever. We made a good chunk of money to replace all the money we spent buying that amulet. Of course, the 2,000 we got from the guy that we gave it to didn't hurt either, but we've made like almost 3 on our own. And now we need to go to Brackenberry to go talk with some old lady that apparently runs the secret police here in Defiance Bay. Because God knows that's always interesting. Kind of reminds me of the Lies of Locke and Lamora, which I only read as of recently, but if you haven't read them, I definitely recommend you go try the first one at least. I've only read the first book, but I loved it. The tower, it's off. Does that mean the curse on Heritage Hill is lifted? Wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. I think it'll be some time for anyone will be willing to settle in the district again, but at least we can get started on restoring it. Oh, wow. Cool. Does that mean anything? No. Alright, we are
Come now,
extraordinary with Defiance Bay.
No.
even just a single.
I'm not calling Isilmir out just so you can learn he'll speak. I'll write down a few words.
I swear to God, literally every single person in my party, with the exception of the dwarf, is more interested in the person in Aloth's head than Aloth himself, and that is, I think, a little cruel. Ah, that's Hadrat House down here. I should probably go talk to one of those animancers about Aloth. We'll do that after this conversation. What the hell? Older Road Man. As you near the apparition, you're overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of emotion rather than emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's bow is tense, a look of concern plain across its face. The other missionaries
say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you're about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intend to convert, they commit unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly, and his lips press together, sympathetic rapport in his eyes. It places his hand on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain. There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
What the hell is this guy's plan? The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing. And it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Huh.
Hail and well met.
Excuse me, I was looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who has lost the curse. For your part reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it here. May it serve you well in battle. Well, thank you. You're quite welcome. You've gained item St. Garm's Spark added to inventory. Now I must be off farewell. Cool. Unique pistol, two-handed, very slow. 25-35 pierce damage, minus 5 accuracy. It blows through veils. Plus an accuracy. Granted to an ally attacking the same target. Plus 25 shock damage. All that, and we could make it fine. Assuming I had another Pilgrim's Crown. That's nuts. Huh. Let's give it to one of our shooters. Now, I have noticed in Pillars of Eternity 2, when you're using a pistol, you actually fire 2 pistols, as opposed to just the one, which makes a certain amount of sense in how it is a two-handed weapon. Still, that is very cool and something I did not expect. Yeah, that's if I can stick 2 pistols in there. You know what? No, that's fine for now. Turned agents. Link, yes, I'm certain of it.
Good day to you.
You carry whispers, Cad Noir, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. Oh, specifically this is a cipher thing. How did you know that? The cipher's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Web require me to focus my talents elsewhere. What brings you to Dungeons Row? Is this affidavit real? It's signed by you. I remember Penhelm, preening peacock of a man. His mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was a sole descendant of an Adrian general, one who'd fought against Hadrit's rebellion. A forgery, and not the first I've seen, but I have no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander, Cliver, and show him the seal. If he compares it with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Doom a man for the soul gods gave him seems rather unfair. It is. But we're not going to turn him in. We're just going to get the breastplate black. What Penhelm does with himself after that is up to him. He's invited here by Lady Web. Forgive me, she doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are fascinating a lot. I've always marveled at her choices. Nothing common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. City may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. Very well. Not going to get too wrapped up in the weeds on this one. Ah. Unworn path. The road to Redflower Lake turned out to be more dangerous than the elders of the kind wayfarers had expected. They believed that the attack against Adrim Delphar's funeral procession would be carried out by ogres. Instead, Jura and the kind wayfarer initiates discovered Ettins, twisted two-headed ogres of incredible size and ferocity. Recovering the paladins' bodies was costly, with 5 more initiates dying in the process. In the end, Jura and 7 kind wayfarers reached Redflower Lake. There they held a service for Adrim, Delphair, and all the others that died to make their way to the summit. On the way back down, the initiates placed marked cairns along the trail to indicate when it had been cleared by the kind wayfarers and what cost. Gained 175 experience and 1 average item. Plus 25 defense against weakened attacks. That's cool. Granted exalted hands once per rest. Friendly target plus 53 endurance over 5 seconds. It's not bad. A foe target 3 meter push stun for 5 seconds. That's nice. Alright, cool. Very, very cool. Okay. Probably over here. Yep. Lady Web will see you now. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindled, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence and with extreme age. Gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aethys look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
I know that voice. I'm looking it up later. So it's true. Those spies of hers don't miss much.
Since then, as I understand it, you entered a quarantine district that is absolutely off limits to all civilians and somehow managed to walk back out with your life. What could possibly have been on your mind to make you do such a thing?
I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason.
Well, shit.
You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend. Which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of the remembrance caused my soul to awaken, needing to reverse it. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still and her mouth parts. Little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchments to the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion.
And what can you tell me about him?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it.
Yeah, that's like 2,000 years ago. He'd be dead and reincarnated in somebody else's body.
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism.
That's odd.
That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity.
You know, I don't need more reasons to hate this guy.
He
I
is
really don't.
also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
Yeah, what about you?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you.
Huh, that's how you say that.
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Works for me.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
Well, there is something I can tell you about the Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Gwithan Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that controls the flow of souls. Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it.
That's a lot of questions to be answered here.
If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all. This progress is encouraging, and I hope we're not too late. How do you know so much about this guy?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
Yeah, what else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
I have other questions.
Yes?
How old are you? You wicked man, where are your manners? Were you raised without a shred of decency?
I lost count ages ago. Such a strange thing to celebrate, getting closer to death. Oh, I've had my share of work done to prolong my existence, if that's what you're wondering. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not done here. There are things I still wish to learn. And I'll be the effigy if I let Berith carry me off before I'm through.
Yeah, she's some sort of like zombie or something.
There was a time when I considered enlisting the theorems of Pondgrum to extend my life indefinitely. I found the thought of devouring my political enemies to sustain my own life greatly appealing. I must have gone soft with age.
Are you psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
You said you don't know what will happen
Who said
tomorrow.
I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
What's that?
A quiet day at home.
Is there a Lord
There
Webb?
was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
All right.
Try your best not to die out there.
All right. That was actually pretty cool. Probably a bunch of stuff that would be stealing because these people don't like to share it all. All right. Let's take a look at our quest log here. So we've got that. We've got the man who waits. Wealthy neighborhood that also housed misery and madness. Someone waiting there, prisoner by choice. To find this person, I'll need to find this neighborhood. Perhaps the guards will know of it. And that's Deerford Village. Alright. Apparently I did not read all that quest to know that I need to talk to the guards. Holy shit. Penhelm's face is white. Just talked to that little cipher, did you? On the way, Nova at night told me he'd seen someone in the records room. Gave me the affidavit. I've done nothing to you. His other hand comes to rest next to his sword. What does this mean to you? Are you serious? This is my career. I've labored years for it. It all hangs on some coincidence of a past life. Any Deerwood, rich or poor, can aspire to the position in the Crucible Knights. Anyone can rise to the ranks of high justice, except for those who are born with the wrong soul. Tell me how that's reasonable. You're right. Take it. He grabs it from a trembling hand. You have no idea what this means to me. I think you're seeing reason. Now do the same for Osric. Return his family breastplate. He hesitates, clutching the affidavit. I'm certainly grateful to you, but Osric earned his punishment and then sent you to take his anger out on me. Why should I do anything for him? Osric's family history is important to him. He needs to get over it. You can see where being stuck in the past has gotten him. Anyway, oh, dude. You're a dick. Okay, that didn't go the way I expected. I should have asked him to do it as a personal favor to me. God damn it. And you know, I could just go, I could save scum it and go back, but I'm not going to. Are there no guards around here anywhere? Oh, wait a minute. Rich man, prisoner by choice. I bet that's it right there. Let's double check those. There should be a guard right up here. There he is. Where are the bad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them in is Blackberry Sanitarium. I've heard they can treat your soul there, take the madness away, but there's only so many stories coming out of that place that chill your blood. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Ah, okay. Oracle will have to wait. Osric. God bless it. That really pisses me off. I wonder how much trouble I'll get in if I just go up and kill the guy. As I am sorely tempted to do. here I was attempting to use reason. It didn't work.
Welcome.
Ah, the Watcher. What brings you here? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stones around him shudders. Could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether the calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their lesser skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I'm reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You're at odds with Leaden Key as well, I take it. I don't like what they stand for. If you have been able to discern what precisely they do stand for, I'd be fascinated to hear it. It's not a collection of cowards trying to hold back the tide because it frightens them, it seems to me. You have some idea who this person might be. I suspect it's a patient. Very well, in that case I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them here or in their offices downstairs. Report anything suspicious to me immediately. That is my only request. Does anyone here know about awakenings? There's an animator on the lower floor that came all the way from Revenue to study them. The stairs and I look for Bella Sage. Well. Alright, where's the downstairs? Back here. That's the guy that we want to talk to for Aloth. So. Yeah, I wasn't trying to do any favors for the dozens. I don't particularly like the group, but I wanted to help that one guy, because that one guy didn't strike me as a bastard. So. Ah, perfect.
Welcome.
I think I've spoken to her before. A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. Echo C, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research I do not see the kiss standing in front of me. What can I do? You're an expert on awakenings. Ah, that would be me. I like to research subjects. Has made me more than an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer animistic success into buttressing pre-weakened souls to soothing those souls who have already been awakened. These subjects, most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck I have a volunteer. Gallarde, who is it? I don't know about this. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All I must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon. I jest. You Adirians are so uptight. I don't even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. So I need you to sit here. She takes Alof with a soldier and steers him onto the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. You also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The answer fastens thick copper bands to Alof's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now I'll examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we get to talk to Islamir more? I like that lady. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You'll answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Very well. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the midst of his own memory. Bella Sage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as your words are soothing his essence, untangling its many threads. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thanes family. But I always know when she's coming home. Fathers the bottles accumulate like some storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her hamneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I let my guard down a little because when she's around, he's usually angry with her. But he's heard that I have trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. Was she cheating on him, maybe? The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I was sweeping the kitchen, the next time I'm sprawled on the floor, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots glistening with fresh polish thud against the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I have to curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting the one thing while I leave something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of my kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing more than a pinprick against a field of black. I regret that I know what that's like. Audacio, he's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You have to bring him out of it quickly. I almost have it. Squeeze Alos's hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Alos's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's near safe when I hap upon him. The sage sucks in a deep breath through her teeth. That's it? Seeing a shift in his essence, something spreading and congealing. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that trips down your gut when crisis is nigh. Buffetto, we have flares of a totally distinct essence. Now try to get the two of them talking. Izmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Hey, he's the one eating me. How do you eat his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell? I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. I can now see 2 separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows, as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. Go on. Izmir, what exactly are you taking from him? Any more than I'm giving. You should ask him what I did in that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I'd break it in 3 places. Aloth jerks his head to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening. I'm stuck with you, and damned if I'll let your nighting drag us both to the scupper. Very good. I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Izmir's essence through the exchange. She had a partially high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. It's right around the spleen, which of course means that she's triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's character melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you in the midst of his perpetration. You're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit. It does seem as though she's got one thing right. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Izmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. I suppose that could be true. To check this against other research. Well, good for you. What does this mean for me? The sage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill, making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Alright, so we have 3 options here. The first is, Izmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face the problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. Seems that Izmir steps in when she's determined that you're in danger. It's not clear yet. We'll go with the second one. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, with the Condoin. He does not look at Belisage. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Revau, entreated Aloth. Aye, advancing the right wise principles of animancy. Just what she always wanted. She turned to leave. You catch a darting motion out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself to occupy her with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He folds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not to her nonsense. No, you get your explanation, she gets her research. That was the deal. He slides the pages back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. I'm not going to help you explain this one, scholar boy. Holy shit. Okay, we collected taxes, we got some coin. Still got almost 2 days to go. For the love of God. That was really funny. Alright, are we getting there? Yeah, we're getting there. And that's all done. Alright. Meanwhile, let's talk to Fruity Loops here about an animancer. Ah, yes, you.
Well met, friend.
Helig is dead for good. I can rest easy. You're doing a great service for animancy for the sanitarium and for me. Thank you. You're going to focus on witches, more specifically how to cure them. I see. Anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This says a sanatorium. Nothing is unusual down here. Well, now I think about it, the patrons seem more agitated lately, but they're Cademan Azzo's responsibility, not mine. And then if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way. Okay, so I won't pick the lock and let out the monster. As entertaining as that would be. Hello, Ripley.
Well met, friend.
Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanatorium. This Master Azzo's assistant, he knows more about that, but he's in the middle of it. I mean, busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out of the patient ward. Yeah, we're going in there. I like this will require the proper key. Yeah. Let's go talk to the statue man. I have a feeling we're going to have a fight on our hands, but that's quite okay. So, in Alos's case, his awakened former life is basically trying to fill the holes in his personality, which is an odd way of looking at it.
Well met, friend.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Cademan Azzo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Cademan Azzo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cademan. I'd hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. Apparently not. His office are in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you'll wish to speak to him further on this matter. I am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have no troubles as it is. Alright. Now we get to go back. Doesn't he basically... No, he's just in the statue. He's not the entire house. You know, it sounded dumb in my head as soon as I said it. The head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Okay, apparently he can communicate to them, so why am I having trouble?
Hey.
What? Following your lead.
Yeah, that'll do for now.
Ready, Watcher.
Alright, cool.
Sure.
Flesh construct? Oh. Really? Curved spine twists his woman's posture forward to a greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. Must be visiting somewhere. Friendly visit, I hope. Where might I find Ozzo? I think I've seen him around today. If you check the laboratory, it shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time in there lately. Why are you in here? I don't want to say. He'll think less of me. I'm listening. The last few years haven't been kind to me. They've been kind to anyone, really. I'm trying to think of it as personal. Lost my husband and both boys on Saintsborn. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? Moved to a tiny place in Andra's gift. Got by mending clothes and all the kinds of strangers when I had to. I was surviving. The guys were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noblewoman comes in and wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, the shade of blue I've never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it and was reminded of something I had what they call an awakening. I remember being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me, men doting over me, the best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dream of, they were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls of my tiny room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. It was at her break into an estate, start ordering servants around. It seemed like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me, but I can't get past it. I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible things must I have done to deserve it? Maybe I'll get there again one day. If not in this life, then in another. The strange part is I think even the best wouldn't be good enough for me anymore. I think I must have gotten to the point where I was that noble lady. Yeah, I can see that. Like this door require the proper key. Yeah, this is going to be a bloody massacre.
I've got it.
Don't you have lockpicks?
I'll get it open.
Nope, apparently not. Hello, buddy.
I'll get it open.
Get into that one, though.
Finished.
Is it stealing? No, it's not. Breakout, preservation, and fine. Unique light armor, plus 2 damage reduction, plus 50% defense when stunned, plus 50 defense when prone. Oh, we're going to give that to our lady here. That's right, I'm stealing your shit. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmere hasn't done much good for anyone since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why she let that sway me. If Animasters all follow the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willful ignorant as Red Cirrus. We would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We'd be lost in the dark without a clue as to why. I never thought I would find myself in agreement with the statue, but Ethelmere's right about this fellow at least. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. It has fooled even himself. I have no interest in arguing about this.
Like so many who stand idly by while a nation slowly collapses into the dust. Apathy and ignorance are the true curse that dooms the dear wood. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
You know, if you've seen anything unusual any unusual behavior out of your patients. You're going to get a lot of looks asking questions like that in a sanatorium for the unbalanced. In truth, I've spent a little time treating them since I've been reducing my capabilities. I have luck with some of our more functional patients. They tend to congregate in the main area just past the entrance wards. Alright. Guess he's not the bad guy. I'll admit, I'm a little disappointed. I was really hoping he was. Let's try you again.
How do you do?
The patient's been acting unusually. There's Batixa who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman who says only half his soul and has been found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own fate wanted to be a false one. Grammy speaks a language no one understands and wails at night behind. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases, but some of them have chosen to get help. Seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. As Graham, I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but always a bit of a wild one. Thank you. No visitors. Alright, what do I have to talk to Azo now? Oh, maybe he is the guy I need. North Ward. This way maybe? Ooh, beer. Hey, more lockpicks. Always nice. Which isn't that cell back there? We've had instances when people get too close. Oh, fun. Okay, where is north? It doesn't specifically say. It's gotta be this area right here, I think. Alright, let's start moving a little bit faster.
What is it now?
I'd like access on the North Ward. Out of the question, those patients are in isolation for a reason. Perception 13. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the head warden.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
Good lord, he's like the fantasy version of Backer Stockman. He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, growls simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Please be the bad guy. I really, really want to kill you. Alright, let's go to normal speed now. Graham. The man has the look in his eyes of a haunted animal. In your approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls as if it would get him further away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have ever heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It's unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. Impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. The Animancers did this to him. You can see what comes with their meddling. Again, Perception 13 is being useful. You're afraid. Do certain visitors make you afraid? He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer in front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It has been shapen as though maned by some jagged instrument, and a large expanse of it has been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Well, let's peer into his soul. He You project out of the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. You're in your cell, key turns, the door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else? In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before you can reach your lips. You're pressed against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He's in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself beginning to crack from within. You can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed out by a horde of rats. You're screaming a scream you can barely hear. Keep searching. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being just outside, but facing left, facing the end of the hall, the boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a second, then rights itself, turns away and leaves. What the shit? Ground looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks to the back of his cell. Speak to the patient at the end of the hall.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
These animators are just as mad as their patients. But if we're all treated like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What do these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many of those who come here and cure to their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. I hope so. You're probably right, it's just hard to see. Let's be on our way, this place gnaws at the soul. A scrim. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement. It is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. You close your eyes and edge forward towards the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, nor do you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You're standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you're waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door is open, and revealing a flesh golem silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of its despondent creators. The construct is close. You coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You're rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridors, unheeded by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by the wary and trusting-worthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled in with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room. You go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you're pulled past them and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you're outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You're acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. This body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous, unlike the others. This one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens the valve, and the globe crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs through a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you've been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But when you make it look how the people expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. The moment the machine goes dark, the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back at the crowd. Behold, he says, but there's an obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly you take a plodding step forward, another and another. You look up at the man, giving him eye contact which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. How do you feel? He asks in a volume meant for the crowd, and at this moment... This is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down into the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panic screams from the crowd. By the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? Jesus. You're again pulled from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room where you have seen before, expansive with a tall device encasing an Adrian monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look like the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There's no mistaking it now. There's the soul of Theos Ix Arcanon, the man you have been searching for that gazes out with that borrowed husk, a watcher. You made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems that for a moment that he recognizes you. He opens his eyes to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You're like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Ah, shit. You need to fall back.
How may I help?
Alright. So this stage just got really bad. Oh. Actually, it's Aloth that I want to grab here. See if we can slow these guys the hell down. Drop the hammer. There we go. Can't get in there, please. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're fine.
I
right?
Come on, heal yourself. Thank you. I don't think I talked to that one. All right, good. Oh, so he turns into a freaking werebeast of some kind. Yeah. I think we're all right. There we go. All right, that kind of caught us by surprise, so we weren't at our best positioning, but all in all, I say we did pretty good. A lot of daggers and clubs out of that lot. And stuff from the flesh golems.
Sure.
Oh, great. These things are mad at us too. That's good to know.
Let's go.
Here, everybody get out of the hallway, thank you. There, at least we have some room to work.
That's it. Let's
Now that everybody can get a shot in on it, I think it'll be too much of a problem. There we go. So basically, Theos just basically turned everybody in this place into a freaking psycho and took all the psychos and tried to kill us with them. He is not a very nice man. You know, not that we didn't already know that, but... Shit, where am I? Okay, I was gonna say, I should be close to the offices, right? Yeah, right over here. What have you done? I didn't actually do anything. Well, I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to kill the nice lady. Oh shit. This could be a problem. Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
How may I help?
Huh?
That actually went pretty easy. Oh yeah, this guy is utterly screwed. Never stood a chance. Yeah. Got some coin for our trouble. Yeah, I hear it's not safe anymore. Yeah, I hope the rest of you guys did the same. I really do. What in the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Usgrim, was working for the Leaden Key only without knowing it. You finish your explanation. Ethelmore breaks the silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, without I had a body and it could be of some real use in our time of need, I fear what the future may hold for this place. I'm grateful you were able to help dispatch the threat there before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. Dude, I killed a bunch of innocent people. What of Azza? What of the experiments playing this catastrophe? Azo was only trying to help the patients. The Leaden Key took advantage of him. Should have been to isolate him. Of course he would sort his deception. Wisest thing would be to allow his experiments with close oversight, of course. A mind like his must be allowed a chance to create. Yeah. That could have gone better. Alright, so we're going to turn this information over to Lady Webb. And we're going to call it a day, because I'm tired. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I would really like it if, in instances like this, I could just say, hey, I'm going to go in this house, let me go to Lady Webb's room. You know, just cut out the middleman, so to speak.
How fares your search?
There's something I can tell you about the Leaden Keys operation.
Well, let's hear it.
Found Theos in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me. It is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgrim is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
It seems like I'm helping you, but you're not helping me. And we do have one more thing to do before we call it a night. I want to give that guy... I gotta talk to that guy at the dozens. Mind you, don't really want to, but I should. Now, to be fair, they don't like me very much. I'm faintly bad with the dozens, but I'm overwhelmingly good with the Crucible Knights. I'm moderately good with Defiance Bay and Gilded Vale. Twin Elms, I'm neutral, but I haven't even been to Twin Elms yet. That's, these guys way over here, so I don't know. And of course, there's the White March and Cragholder Bluffs. Yeah, got jumped by a barbarian as soon as I set foot in there. He murdered me to pieces. I'm apparently not ready for that fight. You know, funny thing is, I'm telling
In Jacoa, we have a memorial for the Saints' War. They say a Rawatai artillery master contributed to the Godhammer bomb. I wondered if...
Of course. You want Rawatai to be a part of this history. Crow about how your people helped the Deerwood. Maybe your Ranganui lied, Amawa.
On second thought, I'll ask Adair.
Yeah. I've been trying to tell myself that, you know, I could just go back to my previous save and restack all this, but one, it wouldn't be genuine, and two, I just don't like doing stuff like that. You know, I don't have a habit of save scumming through any of my playthroughs. I don't really want to start now. Hello, what's this? Huh. Wait a minute. Am I in the right spot? Oh, yeah, I am. It's over there. So, where was I at over here? Lemdala's house. I don't think I've been in there. Well, to be fair, there's probably a lot of places I haven't been in. Alright, let's go ruin this guy's day. Actually, I think he's up here, isn't he? Yeah, Osric. I won't blackmail him. Jill had asked Kisser to keep my family's armor. Or maybe he won you over with a smooth talk and a few coppers. Is that it? No matter, you're choosing your side now. Yeah, damn it, I do feel bad about that. My intention was not to let that guy get away with what he's done. Let's see. 15% experience, warning gloves, 150-300 copper and treasure expires in 2 days, 25 hours. Secret Society of Animasters has been traveling around the Eastern Reach, promising to restore life to lost loved ones. Perform the rituals at clandestine meetings in various cities, never staying in one place for more than a few days. Though some spark of life appears to be restored to the bodies they revive, authorities suspect the group is behind abductions, murders, vivisections, and other ghastly practices that appear to be required by their methods. To make matters worse, those restored to life rapidly decompose or go mad within days of their resurrection. Certain animators and various civic authorities are seeking help to tracking down those responsible. Go get them, Jira. So yeah, I feel like a bit of an ass. You know, the worst part is I kind of felt bad for Penhelm. A bit. I mean, you're basically getting kicked out of the Hells Angels because you're black. It ain't right. But then he had to go and be a complete asshole about it. So.
Greetings.
Oh, it makes me mad. It makes me very, very mad. Alright, memo to self. I need to go through and double check all these grimoires, make sure I've learned everything I can out of there. I think I have, but for life of me, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I have, but I don't know for certain. Got a lot of armor here. Okay. An acorn helm. What's the difference between that and a regular helm? We will find out in a minute. I don't know where I got all these open helms from. Oh, yeah. Much of Wodica helm. Oh, must have been before I hit the temple. I'll keep the capes just for a little bit of style. Hey, look at that. Back up to almost 10,000. So, out of curiosity, looks like that's about increased reach, interfering, and find. How about the same? I don't think I'll waste my time on that then. 1521, 1521. Nothing to waste my money on then, I suppose. Alright, so they don't have anything for me to buy. I don't... oh, maybe. No. I don't think so. So what I am curious about... I don't think I need those in there. So I have this acorn helm. What's it look like? Looks exactly the same as the one he's wearing already. So what's the point? Have you leveled up? Not really. Freaking looks cool though. I really do wish I could actually enchant certain things like helmets and stuff. That'd be very cool. Alright, folks. I think it's time for our travels to take us out of Defiance Bay now. And we've got this quest in Deerford Village. We've got the White March, which we cannot go do. Siege of Cragmalt, we're too low level. We need 10,000 gold pieces to hire some elite troops for this. I have no idea where this is. Someone at the Expedition Hall might know. Damn it. I'll have to do that before I leave. Long Hunt. Not sure where that is either. Oh, the Records Archive. Yeah, okay, we have two more things to do here. We have to go to the Records Archive for Adair and the Expedition Hall to go deal with this one. So we'll do those, then we'll leave town and move on. I'm really glad I checked that before I left and had to save myself a lot of time and trouble. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this. I've been the War Boss Squee, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.